All right. You already know. It's Magoo. Magoo. Try to say it like Master Chim. All right, go ahead. Hit that sub button. Then hit that like button. And then also, excuse me. Go to Instagram and follow me, Magoo_JJ. By the way, in the description box, I got all of that stuff there. I got them links there and all that good shit. So, you already know. Anyway, fuck with your boy, man. Yo, as you can hear from the sound of my voice, I sound a little beat tonight. I'm tired. I sparred, full contact, no holds barred. Yes, the wrist is doing great. Yesterday morning, I was able to go to the gym and lift. I did some bench press. And I did 185 on the bench press, which is awesome because I weigh 160 pounds. So I basically am damn near back. My usual number is 205, but I am very close. And I was able to get through my reps. And the wrist, it hurt a lot, but afterwards, I noticed that the pain was minimal, and I said, okay, let me do some flexing and stuff, and then boom, I went in, I went to sleep, and I woke up, and here we are. I went to sparring, and I gotta say, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. Now, I gotta say something about training, right? It's something about newer people that humbles me. And I'm humbled in the sense that I remember those days when I looked like shit. I mean, I still think I look like shit, I'll be honest. I don't think I look any great. But when I came in, at least I knew my head from my ass. And you got to work with you got to work with that shit. You realize, man, you come in, it's just you in this game. That's it. The tools will be the moves. You got to put that shit together yourself. You got to break in the game and get your style right and shit, all that yourself. And I'm talking because this came from one of the students yesterday evening who I was working with on his list. So we have promotions 4 times a year? Yeah, quarterly, right? And before promotions, about a month before, there are lists given out to the newer students. And on the list, they just have to demonstrate each technique and show that they could do it. And when they complete the list, they put themselves in line for a belt promotion. This is excellent. This is our belt system here at the Jungle Gym where I train at. So, I had noticed, one of the students, he's, a lot of them, it's kind of weird how a lot of them are obsessed, particularly the younger kids are obsessed with TV. And my advice to you guys, stop caring about TV because it's not real, all right? When we're learning martial arts, we're learning MMA. We're learning a brand of MMA that is not for entertainment. If you watch early days of UFC and MMA in general, early days, I'm talking about the 90s, you will see that everyone looks like a regular street fighter, right? They look like they just could get into that good 10-second brawl, and that's it. They gas out. And the more skilled person, they have like 30 times the chance that the street brawler had. Where it's like, today everyone's trained up. Everyone's got the same tools and strategies to a fault. Because we've seen over the years so much that has happened. Now, Granted, we have all of that, but at the same time, people are a lot dumber, a lot slower. Attention spans don't last that long. Hell, I'm guilty of this. I just told one of my coworkers tonight, she always texts me these long-ass podcasts, these 3 and 4 hour podcasts. I said, listen, bitch, I can't be sitting up there 3-4 hours watching no goddamn podcast. I ain't got the attention for that shit. 1 hour, 2 hours the most. And that's me watching it on fast forward. Come on. Anyway, so she's, that's where we are now. So what we have on TV is we have this hybrid style of MMA. It looks like kickboxing. It looks like how we do kickboxing plus takedowns or whatever. And then some ground and pound or the Mike Perry shit where they boxing and then there's ground and pound in the boxing. Like it's a boxing match with MMA gloves on and then there's ground and pound. Or like karate combat when it's pure kickboxing and takedowns are allowed. And then there's some ground and pound, but the minute we get tied up on the ground, it's like, I'll break that up. So, people are really seeing that, and they think that that's MMA, like somewhere between boxing, kickboxing, and a little bit of wrestling. And the style that we're learning, the style that we're training, is that old school style where there's a minimal amount of striking, a large amount of wrestling, and the jiu-jitsu on point type shit, right? Like we're training that because that is effective and it is high percentage. We're looking for finishes here. We're looking to get to a finished position. We're looking to build on it. And, going through the previous 2 nights, where it's like we had the helmet blitz, which was closing distance, initiating the clinch, and then getting to a takedown. And then last night, we had the mid-kick trap and sweep. All right? So now we were using some grappling in a fight scenario where strikes are allowed. And, again, I had this student, whereas I had to tell the student, you have to understand that what we're teaching you is high percentage, because, and of course, certain groups of people, because you've heard me say this before, but certain groups of people, I don't want to keep on beating the dead horse, they only believe that there's one martial art out there, which is to punch somebody in the head for 36 minutes, because they don't really know anything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even how it is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's weird that we have to have these conversations, but I understand because that's where I came from. That's where we all came from. So I'm not going to look down on that. But what I'm going to do is going forward, I'm really going to have to hammer that point to newer people on what we're teaching because they don't seem too confident because it doesn't look like what they see on TV. But obviously they don't watch enough because I could look at some MMA across the world and you still see that style being executed. While everyone with the hybrid style, they've completely forgone their wrestling and their jiu-jitsu and they're getting murdered on that shit. Ha-ha. Touche. So let's see how this shit goes. All right. For now, I want you to go ahead, hit that sub button, hit that like button. Magoo will return with some more stories from training tomorrow. All right. Appreciate y'all listening. I'm out. Oos.